So, you're going to actually say anything?
I don't want to.
Well, I guess I'll start then. Hello, everyone. This is Leonard, and the Commander-in-Chief here is a little bit embarrassed about the art he posted yesterday. I am not embarrassed by it. I'm vulnerable because it was an expression of feelings that I did in Leave Comedy. I'm embarrassed. Which I don't understand at all, since, as you said, since you came back to the podcast, the whole point of it now is to give up on the idea of having some kind of career and make this just a vehicle for your self-expression. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then why are you embarrassed about expressing yourself? I don't know. It's always been weird for me, okay? That's called being an artist, dum-dum. Yes, I'm aware of that, but it's just, I did this thing that I thought I had to do, and then I put it out, because what's the point of doing it if you're not going to put it out? It doesn't help anybody if other people don't get a chance to listen to it, and then afterwards I feel drained and naked, and not in a good way. You mean in the whole look at how flabby and pasty I am while I'm naked way? Yes. You know, this is what you wanted, then you don't need to explain yourself. Well, sometimes I feel like I do. So why are you explaining it like this? Well, it's more interesting for the audience if I have a conversation about it with someone else than if I just blather about it. You know I'm not someone else, right? I'm just you. Yes, and I created you to be a wild card character, someone who could throw a wrench into the works and bring chaos, and someone who could just do all kinds of comedy that would just be kind of surprising and stuff, and somehow you wound up being more grounded than I am in real life. How the fuck does that work? I don't know how your weird brain works, all right? I don't know how all this meta stuff is going on.
Oh, there are days I wonder if I really do need very serious professional help.
Could be, although exploring this kind of weird, creative schizophrenia could be a very interesting topic for a show someday in the future. Yes, but not right now. Okay, so what's the point of all of this then? I just wanted to explain what was going on in my life currently, that's all. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong here. As I understand this, you're feeling guilty because you skipped a couple of episodes recently.
Yes.
And then instead of doing comedy, you did kind of sort of art, music, experimental things.
Yeah.
And you thought maybe you should explain to the audience what's going on.
Yeah.
And the way you're explaining it is by giving an explanation of the explanation.
Yes.
To me.
Yes.
Who is you?
Kinda.
Have you ever actually looked up the definition of narcissism in the dictionary? Either that or a textbook on abnormal psychology.
Look, I didn't say any of this was right or normal, but I'm doing it anyway, okay?
Well, don't let me stop you. Look, I'm genuinely curious as to what you have to say on this subject. And I would like you to make a note of that. I, Leonard, a projection of your brain, is actually fascinated to know what you think about this subject, because I genuinely don't know.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Then get on with it. I'm all ears.
All right,
What? Look, it's just really hard for me to do this with you sitting there with your arms folded just staring at me like that.
I am not actually here.
Yeah, but it's theater of the mind. The audience can't see that.
Yes, but you can. You're sitting alone in a recording booth. Just look around you.
Will you just go do something else?
How am I...
All right. Look, how about this? How about I call Steve into the studio, which doesn't exist, and we resurrect our little jazz duo and we play some music behind you while you explain whatever all this is.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Great! Steve, would you come in here, please?
Oh man, I just got a fresh cup of coffee and everything.
Well, put it down, grab your drumsticks, and get in here.
Yeah, but who's gonna handle all the engineering?
No one! There's no control booth! Just get in here!
You know, for a projection of someone else's brain, you can be awfully bossy and high-strung. Did you know that?
Yes, and you can blame him, not me. We're both in the same boat. Will you guys just start up, please, so I can get on with the rest of this episode? All right. Let's do this.
I'll just get behind the kit.
Leonard, this music will be appropriate for what I'm talking about, right? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I certainly hope it will be, especially since you chose it, and you wrote and composed it, and there's no piano and drums in this room, and you're all alone, and this is all software.
Whoa, let's not spoil the illusion completely.
I hate you so much right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Technical Difficulties. I'm your host, Kyan Chris Conroy. So, what's been going on in my life right now? Well, let me tell you all about that, apart from the weird sort of mental schizophrenia thing with my characters and stuff, which isn't really real, it's just writing. I don't know how to explain this. So yesterday's show was sort of an expression of my frustration with everything that's going on in the world. And, Well, I had a blinding headache all day, and I couldn't really do anything funny. And let me get back to that in a second. So I thought I'd do the art thing just to kind of see if I could get something out of my system, which I did, and it made me feel better. So that's the healing power of art. It's not healing all the craziness in my head, as evidenced by the first half of this podcast. But that and the music is kind of an important part of my whole creative process, as opposed to the comedy, which really only works when I have something to really say that I find really funny, and at the moment I don't find anything very funny about the state of the world and politics. I've really never seen a world this bad, though, as I said yesterday, people have told me it's been this bad before and it probably will be again. I'm not going to just go off the deep end about social injustice and cruelty and tyranny and oligarchs and all that stuff. Maybe I'll figure out a way to work that into some comedy. It's just that it makes me so damn mad, I find it really hard to figure out a way to express it properly. But I just get mad, and I get depressed, and because of my big bout with depression over the last few years, I liken depression to a lot like sunstroke. Once you've had it, you're very sensitive to heat, and it can take you down real quick. And in this case, depression can take me down quick and hard. And I've been dealing with that a lot lately. It's not crippling, but it does get in the way. And also on Tuesday, I take this drug called methotrexate. Methotrexate is an immune system suppressant. I think they give it to cancer patients. And in my case, it keeps my arthritis from attacking my joints, so I'm not in pain all the time. Unfortunately, that stuff makes me very, very nauseous. And so Tuesday, I was very nauseous. And on Monday, I was recovering from a hangover. I didn't even drink that much because Sunday and Saturday before I was hanging out with friends and we did have some drinks. Not a lot, just some drinks. And those made me very, very sick and gave me horrible migraines. And now I'm not sure if I can drink anymore because it took me almost 24 hours to recover from just having a few drinks. So not good all around. I found comedy very frustrating. It's hard to be funny when you're depressed and angry. I mean, it can be funny when I'm depressed and I'm funny when I'm angry, but this was just sort of both, double whammy. Actually, I'm just not dealing with life very well. But I'm hoping to push through it, and I want to keep doing the creative stuff. And I have to say that the music side of things, the music experimental side of things, does help me through it and does help me work. So I hope you'll be patient with me on that. Those of you who love the comedy and are waiting for more of that. I know I don't have to explain myself, especially to you guys, because you've been so patient with me all these times. But, sometimes I just feel like that's the best thing to do, is just sort of explain it. And I don't know, sometimes I think I'm not a well person. I mean, when I said yesterday that my happy place is an apocalypse, I wasn't kidding about that. My brain goes to very, very dark places about the state of the world. And sometimes I do wish, an asteroid or a virus would just ravage the planet just to make all of this stop. I know that's not healthy. It's also kind of normal for people to think that way. I mean, most philosophies are sort of based around that idea that one day this will all come crashing down because it's all corrupt and stupid, but that's not rational thought processes in motion there. And I'm well aware of this. It's just, that's my coping mechanism, but it wears on me. It's not putting my brain in a good place. But being creative does put my brain in a good place for the most part, so it's that weird battling of, inaction and action, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for listening to that. You guys can stop.
None of this explains why you still need us around to do this.
Yeah, why don't you just talk to your wife or go out with your friends at the bar or talk to a therapist? Because I'm not a normal person. That's why. See you next time, everybody.